The whistle didn't stop play for an injury. It didn't stop play for a foul. For the first time in Premier League history, football was halted because one man on the pitch had been racially abused, and that man was about to answer with 2 goals. But how did an unknown forward end up at the centre of a night that would circle the globe? This is Antoine Semenyo, the most direct, fearless runner in the Premier League. And he is the man the entire system decided it didn't want. Every academy in England had its scouts. Every big club had its net. Not one of them pulled him in as a boy. There was a label attached to him early: too raw, too unpolished, not one for the machine. It's a label that would follow him for a decade. This is the story of how he buried it. Part 1. The route nobody chooses. He was born on the 7th of January 2000 in Chelsea, London, to a Ghanaian family. A London kid with Ghana running through the home. Most Premier League stars can name the academy that raised them from 7 or 8 years old. Semenyo can't, because none of them signed him. He came up on Sunday League pitches, the kind with dog walkers behind the goal. So instead of a scholarship, he took a college course. He played football for SGS College in Bristol, coursework and training on the side, the unglamorous route that almost never leads anywhere. But somebody in Bristol was watching. In 2017, Bristol City took a chance on the raw 17-year-old straight out of the college system. No polished academy CV, just power and pace and nerve. It should have been the start. It wasn't. Because raw is a word that cuts both ways. It means potential and it means not ready. Therefore, they sent him down to learn the hard way. First to non-league Bath City, mud, small crowds, grown men who kicked first and asked nothing. Then a spell in League 2 at Newport County. This wasn't a shortcut to stardom. This was an apprenticeship in the lower leagues, learning what a football body has to survive. 0 years in a professional academy. He was building on the job, in front of a few hundred people, miles from the cameras. But every loan, every muddy afternoon, was doing something the academies never could. It was building a chip on his shoulder that no coaching manual can teach. By 2021, though, the doubt was closing back in, and the hardest chapter of the climb was still ahead. Part 2. The years that nearly broke him. The next stop was Sunderland, a giant club sleeping in the lower divisions, a place a young forward could announce himself. Instead, it turned frustrating. The goals didn't flow, the minutes didn't come, and a player who'd spent his whole life proving people wrong was back to square one, still labelled, still not trusted. Therefore, he went back to Bristol City as what he'd always been, a squad option. Not the star, not the plan. A body to fill a shirt when someone else was tired. Think about where he is. 21 years old, no academy behind him, 3 loans that didn't catch fire, and a first club that isn't sure what he is. This is the moment most of these stories quietly end. But this is where the chip finally pays off. He forces his way into the Bristol City side, and once he's in, they can't get him out. He becomes their most dangerous forward. Direct, muscular, terrifying in a straight line, the raw kid learning to be a weapon. He drives at defenders. He carries the ball 50 yards like it's tied to his boot. Suddenly the man nobody wanted is the man the championship can't handle. And when a player looks like that in the second tier, the Premier League starts making phone calls. Part 3. The stage he was built for. In January 2023, Bournemouth signed him for a reported £10 million. A mid-table championship forward, moving to the Premier League, and most top-flight fans still couldn't have told you his name. The first months were about survival, adjusting to the speed, the strength, the ruthlessness of the best league in the world. But steadily, quietly, the season started to build. A goal here, a moment there.
a player growing into the level rather than drowning in it. By now the story of his path has a name attached to it: the late bloomer, the college kid, the one the academies missed.
And then came the opening weekend of the 2025-26 season, and a night that would take his name far beyond football. August 2025. Bournemouth away at Anfield, one of the loudest stadiums in the world. During the match, Semenyo reported that he'd been racially abused by a spectator. So the referee stopped the game. Under the Premier League's anti-discrimination protocol, play was halted. An unprecedented moment, 60,000 people falling quiet, the sport itself pausing to say, "This cannot stand." Picture what's being asked of him. To stand there, exposed, the centre of a stadium's attention, after being targeted for the colour of his skin, and then keep playing. And he answers in the only language that silences everything. He scores. And then he scores again. 2 goals at Anfield, on the night the whole world learned his name. Not for the abuse he suffered, but for the defiance he answered it with. The alleged conduct of one spectator was a matter for the authorities. What happened on the pitch was fact, and it was unforgettable. He carried that defiance into the rest of the campaign. Not a fluke, not a single night. The season of his life had begun. Goal after goal. The direct running that once got him sent on loan was now tearing Premier League defences apart. The chip on his shoulder had become a superpower. Every academy that passed on him was watching now. So the biggest question of all arrived. When a player is this good, how long does a small club get to keep him? The answer came in January. In January 2026, Manchester City signed him. One of the giants of world football came for the college kid. Think about the distance travelled. From SGS College and Sunday pitches. From Bath City mud and a frustrating loan at Sunderland. From a squad shirt at Bristol City nobody expected him to keep. To one of the biggest clubs in the country that never wanted him as a boy. 21 goals in 48 club appearances across that season, the numbers of a forward who had finally arrived. The man the system rejected was now wearing one of the most famous shirts in the game. But there was one more decision that defined him, and it wasn't about a club at all. Born in London, he could have chased an England shirt. Instead, he chose Ghana, the country of his family, the country that ran through his home. He starred on Ghana's road to the 2026 World Cup. The same directness, the same fearlessness, now leading a nation's attack. And that road led him to the biggest stage football has. Ghana were drawn into a group containing England, the country of his birth, and Croatia. A brutal test. And Ghana came through it. Out of that group and into the knockout rounds, with Semenyo carrying the line. The London-born son of a Ghanaian family, facing down England on the world's biggest stage, wearing the colours he chose. From the boy no academy wanted, to the man leading a nation into the last rounds of a World Cup. Here's the truth that ties it all together. The most fearless runner in England is fearless because he had nothing handed to him. Every rejection built the fire. He came through college football and non-league mud to reach the champions of England and the knockout rounds of a World Cup. And the story isn't finished. How far can Antoine Semenyo and Ghana actually go? If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Beyond the Boots for more. The boots tell the story, we just follow the footsteps.